A massive thank you to the Ranting Brummy, Matt, Ryan and Latifi Laspoon for subscribing to the channel. If you want to be featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below. Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 17 of our F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. Yesterday we're here back ready for the Mexican Grand Prix. Of course, if you missed out yesterday's video from COTA, definitely recommend worth going back and checking it out. A massive thank you for the insane support on that video. The fact that recently each of the My Team videos is doing better than the last has just been absolutely mind-blowing as well, of course. And if you're not already, make sure you get yourself subscribed as well. We're getting really close now to 16,000 subscribers. Obviously trying to hit 20k as soon as possible as well here. But as we head towards the Mexican Grand Prix this weekend, though, obviously only a 1 week break between COTA and this one, so fingers crossed, yeah, we do get another upgrade on the car. So everything looking good.
Parts come through the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
So we're still ahead then of Alfa Romeo as we head into this weekend. We'll see we've still got 3 upgrades in the works as well there, and hopefully when all of these come on, we should be ahead of AlphaTauri there. You can just see how close Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri and ourselves are at this stage of the year there. The battle for P2, well, best of the rest really. Mercedes, of course, have wrapped up both championships. Obviously, we don't know which Mercedes driver has got the driver's crown just yet, but yeah, the battle for P2 overall has been absolutely insane as well, of course. But you can see championship-wise, obviously with Hamilton's DNF last time out, just 18 points separate the top 2 at this stage of the year. Let's dive in to the Mexican Grand Prix. Right, here we are then, at the Mexican Grand Prix. Round 17 of the year, just 4 races to go at this stage. And we still have had no news on whether we're going to get any rule changes for next year as well. So really starting to wonder now whether, yeah, we're just not going to see any ready for Season 2 of the campaign. Doesn't really help us out all too much. We're just going to have to continue trying to make momentum. I think for us lower down teams, we've really got to try and wait for, yeah, big rule change here to really try and leapfrog our way up the order, but you never know. We'll wait and see nonetheless there. Mexico, of course, has been slightly remodeled as well on F1 2021. Had a lot of fun around here doing the breaking point race, obviously, we did around this track. But, well, until obviously it all went completely peaked on. But anyway, coming towards the end of our track acclimatization lap, not the best one in the world. A little bit struggling for confidence this weekend there again. Back into the car feels very loose and lively. We do get the green, though. Heading out onto the fuel-saving program, though. This would have been useful to do last time out at COTA. Definitely struggled a bit last weekend, but fingers crossed, yeah, we shouldn't have too many issues here. Still just trying to work out how to fine-tune it on F1 2021, but I think we're getting a good idea, roughly, at this stage of Season 1. Of course, one of the very big changes from F1 2020. No more rich revs, and of course, well, you can't use lean revs unless you absolutely have to either. I don't think, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, just, you know, learning the new game still. Coming through the stadium section though, trying to keep it a bit tidier than we did on our track acclimatization lap. Starting to slowly get our eye in with this lap as well. They're just working out which curbs you can attack and which ones you can't as we round the final corner. Let's see if we can try and get that purple score. Just about clutched it. Always gotta be a bit cheeky with those fuel saving runs right at the end there if you've got a little bit of delta built up. But anyway, a race simulation run, though, or race practice run, whatever you want to call it. This one, yeah, has generally been pretty good to us so far in F1 2021, I must admit. Never really used it on previous games, but certainly has been handy this year as we try to earn more and more R&D. Yeah, the curbs around here definitely still pretty brutal in a couple of places. That has certainly been tweaked for F1 2021. Of course, this track, on the old games, you could just eat curbs for breakfast around here, but not so easy to do on this year's game there as we do get around Nicholas Latifi. Slowly working out how to let other cars through around a track there. But you can see you can still take a few of them, but they definitely are a lot bigger. Definitely more happy to unsettle the car if you try and take a bit too much away from it, if you're running a low enough ride height as well, of course. Mexico, generally not a track I've got on with particularly well in recent games. Just find a lot of it just doesn't suit my style. But generally the race pace around here and the consistency is pretty good. It's a bit like Spain for me. Not a fan, but do quite well. Anyway, this is going to be practice done and dusted. Let's dive into qualifying. Right, heading out then to qualifying for the Mexican Grand Prix. I don't know how confident I feel as we head into this weekend. I'll be honest with you guys. Yeah, not too sure how we're going to fare here. I feel like this could be a track that's either going to really suit us or myself and Robert are really going to struggle around this venue. That's a lot of curb through turn 1. We try and dance between the curves through turn 2 and turn 3. That was a pretty tidy run on the exit of the first sector there. But yeah, Bottas sets at 12.8. That's a very fast lap to start this session from the Mercedes. But we're just going to keep our head down, try and get a good banker in. Really want to try and just use 2 sets of tyres if we can, but not optimistic. And that's exactly what I mean about the curbs. Completely damaged the rear wing as well there. That was a bit of a scary one.
That rear wing box now.
No idea how long that's going to take. But yeah, that's what I meant.
Got front wing damage. Recommend you box for a new one.
Damage in both the front and the rear wing. Yeah, that's what I meant in practice when I said the curbs around here will definitely have you if you try and take a bit too much. Let's head back to the pit to see what the repairs are like as we try to stay out of the way for science. 3.5 minutes isn't too bad for the front wing. Is the rear wing going to be sorted as well with a bit of luck? Rear wing does appear to be all okay again as we head out for our second run. But I've just noticed as well the turbocharger is up over 60% wear as well. I want to believe it'll hang on this weekend, but I'm not too sure whether Mexico's normally quite a good track for overtaking, whether it's worth taking the penalty here, of course, and then just not worrying about it in the final 3 Grand Prix, or whether we gamble it this weekend. We'll see. I think, to be honest, it'll be where we qualify might define that decision. Right, don't hit the curve this time. We still hit it, but we got away with it that time round there. It's really, yeah, trying to take a lot of curve in a couple of spots around this lap. Yeah, it really is all about trying to make the track as wide as possible here. Let's get another huge snap of oversteer as we head through the stadium section. Hasn't been the best lap in the world. So we head through the final couple of turns there. That's been a horrible run as we nudge the wall through the final corner up towards the line. We go slower than our teammates, still in last at the moment. We're going to have to go for one more run. But I think we're going to be putting that turbocharger on this weekend, I won't lie. Right, heading out then for our final run here in Q1 for the Mexican Grand Prix. Let's just see what we can try and get out of the car now. At the final corner, we need to try and nail this last lap if we want anything better than the back row. If we make another mistake, yeah, we'll be P22. It will definitely be a new turbocharger. But yeah, that was very much an early season mistake from us there. Very uncharacteristic in recent times. Been pretty good later on this year in not making mistakes like that in qualifying runs. But I guess we're still just trying to find the limit in a couple of places still here on F1 2021. Not the best run through the first sector there, about half tenth down already. So we head up in towards sector 2. I did have a big lock up here though. So let's just see if I can keep it much tidier. There we go. There we go into the green. Ooh, a lot of short shift in there. I think I accidentally grabbed a couple more gears that I had in mind. As we head now down towards the S's, 3 tenths up out of nowhere. And the gap to the Alfa Romeos was about 3 tenths up the road there. So we try and keep it between the white lines. Just tip the car in where we need to, but just be a bit careful as well. In towards sector 3 we go though, still 3 tenths up. Again, using up all the curb as we head into the stadium section. Made another mistake through here on our previous run. Try and get the car rotating into the hairpin there. It never wants to steer in towards those final couple of corners though. Oh, second guessing ourselves there. That's a horrible run through the final corner. I don't know what's wrong with us this weekend, but the balance is all over the place.
Wing is damaged. You can expect a lot of oversteer unless we bring you in and fix it.
I've got enough oversteer as it is, Jeff, but yeah, that's definitely us out obviously in Q1, of course. New turbocharger. Don't know if anything else on the engine's that worn out as well. We might have to go with a new MGUK and MGUH as well, but that's just gutting. So at the end of the qualifying then, you can see we were last. I don't think it was by 2, it was a 10th in the end. Everyone else, of course, did improve right at the end of the session there. But yeah, if we'd found that 3 tenths, we probably wouldn't have even made it. Yeah, no, we wouldn't have made Q2 anyway. We've only been P17 there, so we'd probably still end up shuffled back to the rear of the field. But not going to let it get to us too much. We'll keep our head down, we'll try to focus, and we'll see what we can bring home. Let's dive in to the Mexican Grand Prix.
Welcome along to the most populous city in North America, and home now to the Mexico City Grand Prix. It's a sellout crowd as usual here at one of the shortest circuits on the Formula One calendar. So who, I wonder, will the crowd cheer on today to the top step of the podium? At 2,285 metres above sea level, the thin air of the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez poses a unique challenge, not just to a driver's skill, but to the efficiency of their engines as well. 17 corners make up a lap of this 2.6-mile circuit, and you can expect incredible speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and overtaking too into the hard braking zones of turns 1 and turn 4. And I'm joined once again by Anthony Davidson to bring you the lowdown for today's race. Let's have a chat about McLaren. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and P2 goes to Daniel Ricciardo, a strong showing from the Australian. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Sainz, Pierre Gasly and Stroll, Verstappen, Tsunoda, Raikkonen and Fernando Alonso, Russell, Leclerc, Antonio Giovinazzi and Ocon. They've taken a grid penalty. Norris, Mick Schumacher, Sebastian Vettel and Nikita Mazepin. Schwartzman, Latifi, Hamilton. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Mr. Monaco. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Right, well here we are then, on the grid, ready for the Mexican Grand Prix, round 17 of the year here, and the one stop is not the way to go around this circuit. The hard tyres are awful here at Mexico, so we're going to be going on to the two-stop soft, medium, soft for this one here today. But Hamilton, though, this is a massive opportunity for Bottas to take some big points out of him this weekend. Of course, Hamilton needed basically a whole new engine after the last one went up in smoke last time out in COTA, so for Hamilton, it's just a day of recovery for him. He's just seeing, you know, if he can stay in the lead of the World Championship, I'm sure he'll be happy at the end of this week there. But Bottas, he needs a win this weekend if he wants to try and stay in contention here. But let's dive in to the Mexican Grand Prix, round 17 of the year. Waiting on those 5 red lights. And it's the lights out, and away we go. Mazepin has not got off to a good start there as we head down towards turn 1. The Russian's going to lose a handful of spots there, and hopefully will make it one more on his hard compound tyres. You can see everyone fans out down towards turn 1 there. Hamilton trying to make up any ground he possibly can at the start. Oh, it was Mazepin. Comes across us a little bit there in towards turn 1. We'll have a look back around the outside of Hamilton if we can through turn 2, as everyone just 2 by 2 through the first couple of corners of this Mexican Grand Prix. We have held on pretty nice and tidy, though. It is Bottas that still leads the way there, ahead of, I think it's Sergio Perez. And you've got both, obviously, Sergio Perez's home Grand Prix this weekend there, as we have a look at the inside, maybe around the outside of Latifi as well. We'll try and pick these moves off if we can there. Schwartzman's made good progress at the start as well of this Grand Prix, as Vettel has gone a bit backwards there, as I'm still a bit worried about Raikkonen. Once again, starting up in the points. Oh, Latifi, very brave there to cut in front of us, as again, we just get a little bit unsettled by the curbs. Going to have to be really careful through this sector of corners over the course of the Grand Prix here today there, but a decent start, up 3 spots. Hamilton now trying to look past Mick Schumacher as well, just behind us. I think the Mercedes has probably now pulled off that move. As again, round the outside of Latifi, the Canadian just struggling a bit to get the power down. We'll have that. Thank you very much. Up the inside we go once more there. Good little battle with the Canadian on that one, as Hamilton's going to try and capitalise as well out of the final corner there. But yeah, up 4 spots on lap 1 of this Grand Prix. Now I think the aim is trying to settle down into a rhythm. We have got 2 Mercedes-powered cars closing in though, but I think we're going to do enough. Giovinazzi and Vettel going side by side as we head down in towards the stadium section of Schwartzman. Oh, just into the back of Gio there. Not sure if there was any contact in the end. It was very close. Front wing feels fine. Cars felt a little bit all over the road all weekend so far, to be honest. But yeah, no, front wing's absolutely fine there. But Seb makes the move work on the Italian. Are we now going to be able to look for something?
You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Hamilton probably trying to defend from him at this stage of the Grand Prix, but down to the outside of Gio. As we head back down in towards turn 1. Pretty even on the brakes there. We give him a squeeze. We will get all the way around the outside there and then through turn 2 and turn 3. Now, P17. There is a big train that pretty much extends right up into the points here, as I think it is Kimi and one of the Alpines here, so 2 not particularly fast cars at this stage of the game, holding each other up and creating a nice queue behind there. I think they're 3 wide. So we head back down towards turn 1. I think it just goes back down to 2. As, yeah, George Russell trying to get involved there. Lando Norris in his McLaren. Surely he's going to be able to romp away from this group of cars. It only extends down to P11 though, so not really too much to be had if we get ourselves to the front of this group. Hamilton's still behind us though. Oh, Hamilton's coming for me this time round. I knew it wasn't going to last long in this Grand Prix as we head back down towards turn 1. Here comes the Merc. Surprisingly though, Hamilton braking rather early in towards the first corner there. We just ran a little bit deep through the corner, but yeah, having none of it that time. See you in another lap, Hamilton. We got yellow flags out. Who's got issues? It's one of the Alpines, if I'm not mistaken there. So I think that is Fernando Alonso out of the Grand Prix. That looks to be an engine blow-up. Yep, Fernando's out. Let's have a look. Yeah, so by the looks of it then, it hasn't really gone up in smoke. Oh, there we go. There's the smoke. Yeah, the Renault engine's always known for going up and going bang quite well there. But yeah, pretty disappointing for Fernando Alonso. The high altitude really, yeah, affecting the Renault, it appears. Sportsman trying to have a look past Kimi, though, as we head back down towards turn 1. Our teammate has been feisty so far in this Grand Prix. Still and ahhing about whether we should get a new driver in for Season 2. I'm thinking, though, to be honest, Schwartzman, he's been pretty decent in the last few races this year. I think he might be earning his drive ready for next season there, as Kimi and Seb, old Ferrari teammates, get a little bit close for comfort. I think, though, Kimi has won out that battle for now.
For a new strategy option.
Team a new strat, and yeah, what did I say about the hards at the start, Jeff?
Confirmed.
Right, come on then, Sebastian. Let's see what you've got in your Aston Martin. So you head back down towards turn 1 here. Has Kimi got DRS on our teammate? Yes, he definitely does there. Raikkonen gaining in on Schwartzman. At the same time, we're gaining in on Sebastian Vettel in this Grand Prix. Deep on the brakes there. Lock the rears on the way in, but we just about tipped the car through. Definitely not good for the rubber, but it's another overtake.
Nice overtake.
Pretty happy with that one, albeit, yeah, pretty much off the rails. Right, come on then, Kimi Raikkonen. We just pulled off a move on Seb. Let's see if we can pull off a move on you. You do have the DRS, though, so it might be a little bit more difficult here, but yeah, just draining a bit too much of the battery, I think, early on in this Grand Prix, but still trying to make progress to the outside of Kimi. Pretty even on the brakes once more there, but we'll do what we did to Gio. Bit of a squeeze, take the curb, and take the position. Next up, Schwartzman. Already a quarter of the way into this Grand Prix, and myself and Schwartzman, yeah, really worked together quite nicely early on. Try and make some moves here, but just a bit worried our teammate isn't getting close enough to George Russell to go for anything.
Behind us is lapping faster than us by around 1 second per lap.
Verstappen is into the pit lane as well there, but we're both gaining in on George Russell. Oh, Schwartzman! Oh, that was almost like my team. Braking point. As we head down in towards turn 1, there a tiny bit of contact between the pair of us as well. I think we've got away with that one, but yeah, Schwartzman and I thought we were going to Ricardo Zonta George Russell at this stage of the race, but no, both went the same way then. Now Schwartzman's going to go for it in towards sector 2. Can our teammate hold on around the outside of the Williams? And can we potentially capitalise on this? Oh, Seb! I wasn't expecting him to go for it there. So apologies to the German, but yeah, certainly didn't think he was going to be able to go for a move there. A bit of a lunge as we were trying to cut back. Yeah, I'm sure Hamilton happy with that one. That's a free overtake for him and maybe some side pod damage for us, but yeah, was not expecting that one. Anyway, Schwartzman's now past Russell. We need to try and do the same. Oh, Schwartzman's actually dives into the pits.
Tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
A few more cars into the pits at the end of lap 10.
Robert in the pits.
So you've got someone coming back out the pits. We'll have some slipstream off Sergio Perez if we can. Homeboy his Mexican Grand Prix there as Russell goes defensive. We'll get past the pair of them. Back down towards turn 1. Don't really think we're going to be able to battle Perez too much in this Grand Prix, but we'll have the move for now. As Sergio, yeah, sat pretty comfortable in P2 at this stage of the day. But yeah, now he's behind us, but not for long. Here comes Sergio Perez. Well, yeah, we'll give him the inside. Not really a battle worth fighting for us, I think, at this stage of the day. We'll slot back in, and we'll try and get some DRS off him. Oh, I'm certainly in the rear end, but probably ought to pit end of this one. Right in the final corner, though, ready to dive into the pit lane here. Make sure we just get underneath the bollard, and then get it slowed down as well. It can be so easy just to overspeed slightly into the pit lane here, but intrigued to see where our teammate's going to come back out in this Grand Prix. Of course, a lot of people still going a lot longer here on the mediums and the hards, but fingers crossed we're not going to be too far away. Come on. 3.1 is absolutely atrocious there. George Russell's gained a lot on us. There goes Schwartzman as well, as Hamilton's still behind him. But both of them have got like a 3-second undercut. We've been jumped by Latifi. No one ever says that. Who gets jumped by Latifi in Formula 1? Hopefully we'll get running him back in towards turn 1. No, not brave enough. We've been jumped by Latifi, that's it. My Formula 1 career's over. Oh, George Russell's coming at us as well now. It just goes from bad to worse so far. In the Mexican Grand Prix. Oh, very, very close to contact there. Huge wash of understeer. Apologies to George. Wasn't quite planning on completely hanging him out and off the road there, but struggling a little bit on these mediums. Oh, we got more yellow flags. That's one of the Alfa Romeos out. I think that's Raikkonen out of the Grand Prix. No, he's coming back on. Let's go on board, see what's happened then to Kimi Raikkonen here. Battling out with Pierre Gasly. Tries to keep the nose in, it just gets tangled around. Does the fin there, and then has to do a little bit of rallycross as he tries to get back onto the circuit there. So a bit reminiscent of Sebenai's battle, but Kimi continues. Latifi now going for a move on Nikita Mazepin, who's still yet to pit in this Grand Prix in his Haas. There a little bit of contact between the pair of them. So they head through turn 2. Oh, a big bit of contact between them there. So we try and get the power down on the exit, try and capitalise on this. What was that? From the Williams and the Haas car there. We're going to try and go down the middle. Oh, we've overshot. We just have overshot there. Oh, this is not great. I mean, Mexico is providing some carnage and chaos early on as well. Now trying to look around the outside of the Haas. I think he's got damage, so I don't really want to be stuck behind him if I can avoid it. We will get to the inside of Mazepin. Tries to turn in on me, but we're there. But we've lost the spot to George now. Got a couple into the pits as well there. Raikkonen and Schumacher. Up at a P17 again. This is just non-stop here in Mexico. And then one lap later, we got Giovinazzi in.
Trailing our teammate by 5.2 seconds.
See, Schwartzman's had a really good race so far. Fair play to our teammate here. But here comes Russell on Latifi again. The Williams going to go side by side back in towards turn 1. And Latifi, oh, having none of it there as he very much aggressively swipes across his teammate's nose. Are we going to see George now get a run in towards turn 4? Or are we going to see more chaos and carnage ensuing here in Mexico? George Russell goes defensive. Actually has a look at the inside of his teammate there. Can't do anything about it. Will trying to sneak around the outside of George. Oh, he just spots us at the last moment. And this time around we make the move a bit cleaner. Surely now Latifi's going to be a bit of a sitting duck as we head back down towards turn 1 here. I'd just like a few laps where it's not just drama all the time. I'll be honest with you guys. We need a chance to just have a bit of a focus, a bit of a breather here in Mexico. But big old run on Latifi down to the outside of the Canadian. And we do get clean round the outside into the braking zone. Now we've got Schwartzman 5 seconds up the road. Let's just breathe. Let's get our head down. Let's get some laps under our belt. And let's try and pull away. More yellow flags. Oh, it's Perez, I think. Perez out of the Mexican Grand Prix. Oh, no, he's back on. Is he out? Let's have a look. Let's see what's happened to Perez then. Has he just looped it round on the curb? Oh, he hit the curb that we did. And that's completely the front wing gone for Sergio Perez there. What a disappointing mistake. He was looking like he was going to get a podium in his home Grand Prix there, but that's the Red Bull back to the pits. It might be about, to be honest. That was a huge whack of the wall, but heartbreak for Checo. Yeah, Perez out of the Mexican Grand Prix there. So disappointing for Sergio. But on the other hand, great to see the AI can make those mistakes now. That completely by himself, completely unforced. But yeah, just so disappointing. Hamilton into the pit lane as well as one of the Ferraris. So we are now going to be into P12 of the Grand Prix. Schwartzman just one place outside the points. There we go, one lap later, Robert into the pits. So we will now just be one place outside of the top 10. As Norris has come out just in front of us here. I think points here aren't going to be possible this weekend unless we get a perfect safety car. But still another good weekend and solid pace here from our teammate. Oh, more yellow flags. That's one of the Ferraris gone. Let's see. Let's have a look then. Charles Leclerc, does the engine just go pop on the way down towards turn 1? Or is it in fact his teammate? Actually with engine issues here. No! Charles Leclerc just decided he's doing donuts at this stage of the Mexican Grand Prix. Oh, steady on. Don't want to take out Lando. That might not be great. Oh, and he has come together with Lando, so that is Charles Leclerc out of the Grand Prix.
On Norris. The safety car is out. We need you to reduce your pace. It looks like there's a high amount of debris on the track. They've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring. Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
We got a safety car, and it pretty much couldn't come at a more perfect time in this Grand Prix. It's going to bunch up the field there. We're into 9th as well. So it's all starting to come together in Mexico. It's been a chaotic race so far. 4 retirements now. 1 for Fernando Alonso with engine failure. Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc both going out after a collision there that was most definitely Charles Leclerc's fault. And of course Perez as well, taking himself out of the Grand Prix. This race has been an absolute banger. To the pits we come then. Where are we going to re-emerge late on in this Mexican Grand Prix? Get it slowed down nice and tidy. That was close. As we head into the pit lane there, Hamilton, weirdly enough, stays out in this Grand Prix, so not too sure what our fellow Brit has got planned in this race. But yeah, we're going to come out really close to the points here, and we're going to be on a fresh set of soft tyres to try and get to the end of the Grand Prix. 2.8 is not brilliant, but not bad either. Schwartzman does stay out ahead of us there. I think we have lost a bit of time through the pit window, but we're going to come out in P15 here in Mexico, and yeah, we're going to the end. What more can Mexico provide us in the final 10 laps then of this Grand Prix? There's now a real opportunity. We could try and snatch away a couple of points here in Mexico City if we just keep it clean and tidy off the restart, gain a couple of spots, and really use this fresher, softer rubber to our advantage. Who knows what we can achieve by the end of the Grand Prix. Round in the final corner, try and get the power down. Oh, very, very cold rubber there. We almost head into the pit lane out of the final corner. That was not good.
1.6 seconds.
And we're barely holding on along ahead of George Russell off the restart here. I'm sure the Mercedes-powered Williams trying to do everything he can.
At a rate of about 2 seconds a lap.
Don't think anyone's ever been caught by a Williams at 2 seconds a lap, but, well, not since the 90s. But not the best restart in the world, but we'll keep our head down. There's still a good chance. Mighty train starting to form, I think from P3 downwards here. I think it's Stroll and Bottas that have got away there, but you can see. Whoa, Carlos Sainz, I think it is. Well, it must be Carlos Sainz, and I think must be Daniel Ricciardo as well. Of course, the other Ferrari and McLaren have taken each other out in this race. Still duking out there. Ricciardo's into the pits. Mazepin's trying to get into the pits as well in front of us. George Russell's gone round the outside out of the final corner in all the commotion. Where are we now? We're P11 in the Grand Prix once we've got past Russell here. So Schwartzman's into the points in this Mexican Grand Prix here. Look at that 3 wide behind us as well. Mexico is not giving up with carnage today as we head back down towards turn 1 there. That was the Haas of Mick Schumacher trying to get involved there as well. Haas would love a point in this Grand Prix if they can. They're, of course, bring her back in line with Williams as Schumacher's done a double overtake there. Has anyone else got a pit before the end? Trying to get a good run on our teammate Robert Schwartzman as we head in towards Sector 3 here. Our teammate goes defensive. I don't want to risk it now. We're far too late in the Grand Prix to risk having a scrappy battle with our teammate. So I think there's still going to be a couple more guys having to dive into the pits before the end of this. But they're around the outside through the stadium section though. Oh, a little bit of contact there in the end, I think. We might just have got away with that one, but we're now up into 10th place here in Mexico. And as much as I want to see Schwartzman score a point, if we've got a chance...
DRS is now enabled.
If we've still got a chance of points, we're going to try and take him as well at this stage of the day. In the Drivers' Championship, Esteban Ocon is the man we're having a big battle with at this stage of the year there, as we just about try and hold it between the white lines. Tsunoda's holding up a big old train, though, ahead of Hamilton, Vettel and ourselves. Oh, heartbreak for Mick Schumacher. It looks like the Haas car issues late on in this Grand Prix here. Devastating for them, as they were really sensing an opportunity. They might just be able to score a point here if things go a bit pear-shaped for everyone else. But yeah, we need to try and get past Ocon before the end of this race.
Give us the best in lap you can.
No idea why the team want us into the pits again before the end. That is definitely not happening. But can we get a run on Ocon back down towards turn 1? Here we are gaining on the Alpine. Down the inside in towards turn 1. Big old lock of the rears there, but we send it. And we do complete the move. And now we're up into 9th. Hamilton's going to go against Tsunoda down in towards turn 1. 6 laps to go of this Mexican Grand Prix there, and is Tsunoda going to be able to hold on there? Look at that, the rookie defending from the 7-time world champion through the first couple of corners there. They all concertina up though. This might allow Seb and I to capitalise on the exit there. I think Seb got a bit caught out from that one, but we've got a huge run on all of them as we head down in towards Sector 2 there. What is that from Sebastian? He's completely rammed into Lewis Hamilton there, just rallycross at the end of Sector 1 there. We've pulled off the move on Tsunoda. During all that, Hamilton is surely going to have to dive into the pit lane again in this Grand Prix. What is this race? Hamilton with a load of damage there. We've got to get past him through the S's there. Can't afford to get stuck behind him as there. Tsunoda's going to get a little bit more held up. But surely that's a penalty for Sebastian Vettel in this Grand Prix there. Just completely cut the corner and absolutely walloped Lewis Hamilton here. But yeah, we could be on for P6 by the end of this, and Schwartzman could be on for points. Trying to close in on Seb now with 4 laps to go of the Mexican Grand Prix. Doesn't have enough front wing damage to warrant a pit stop. But I think he's definitely struggling a little bit through the twisty bits here as we try to put the power down out of the first complex of corners here. Activate the DRS. We're going to drain the battery. See if we can get a move done on Sebastian Vettel. He's going to go defensive in towards Sector 2. But can we hook it up right around the outside there? A much cleaner move than the one he pulled off just a couple of laps ago there. But we are now up at a P6 of the Mexican Grand Prix. And our teammate, he's still in P9.
Focus on the driving.
Team saying tyres are all good as well. We've got 4 laps to go here in Mexico. Can we bring this thing home? Seb's come back at us down towards turn 1 here. I don't think there's going to be much we can do this time round. As the German tries to get up the inside there. We do fling it around the outside though. And somehow hold on. I think our teammate has just been relegated back down to P10 there. As long as he doesn't get jumped by the Williams, that's alright. It's Hamilton, yeah, last place in this Grand Prix. We don't say that all too often. As much as I'm trying to focus on our own driving, I've spent so much time looking at the mini-map, seeing if our teammate's still doing enough for his first ever Formula 1 points. We took a gamble bringing Schwartzman into the team at the halfway stage of the year.
Final lap of the race.
But Lundgaard, yeah, just wasn't delivering early on here. Seb now might be able to get us though on the final lap of this Grand Prix. We're going to drain the battery entirely as we head down towards turn 1 there. Can we keep the nose up the inside? Completely lock the rears on the way in. How on earth have we held onto the back end there? That was full Gymkhana style through the first couple of corners there. But I think our teammate is battling with George Russell there as Seb comes back at us in towards turn 4. Who's going to be able to hold on this time round there as Seb tries to keep the nose at the inside? Well, given the room, we've already had contact here once before today. But we get the power down around the outside there, just about get the nose rotated through. But as we head now into the S's, as long as we don't do anything stupid, this should be good enough for P6 in the Grand Prix there. Bottas takes the win, and in doing so takes the World Championship lead with just 3 races to go of the year here as well. And I think by the looks of it, our teammate Schwartzman is going to do enough for P10 as well as we round the final few corners here. The confetti everywhere here in the stadium section as Seb actually has a look for it in towards the final couple of corners there. From start to finish, Mexico has delivered here today. I never thought we'd get points, but we bring home 6th anyway. Get in there.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Not just victory today then, but the championship as well. What a spectacular season they've had. Congratulations to the whole team. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. Valtteri Bottas passes his rival to take over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Mr. Monaco. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
Nothing can challenge the leaders of the Constructors' Championship at this point, but it's another clear win for Mercedes as they manage to secure the Constructors' title. An incredible performance for the whole team. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improve their position in the championship. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula 1. Be sure to join us for the next one.
I don't know what to say. Race of the year, no doubt about it so far on F1 2021. That one had absolutely everything and a whole lot more as well. But it's Bottas that takes home the race victory. He seemed to avoid most of the carnage and chaos over the course of this one. I'm sure he'll watch it back at the hotel tonight and wonder what on earth went on behind him over the course of the race. Today we had driver mistakes. We had more driver mistakes involving other cars. We had whatever Sebastian Vettel was trying down in towards turn 4. It was just chaos from start to finish. I hate to think how long this edit is going to be, but if you've stuck around to the end, fair play to you guys as well. But yeah, like we said, Bottas, though, does take the win here in Mexico ahead of Sainz, Verstappen, Gasly and Stroll. 6 cars from 6 different teams make up your top 6 at the end of the race there. Vettel in 7th ahead of Ocon, Tsunoda, and our teammate Robert Schwartzman, first Formula 1 points as well for him. I'm sure he's ecstatic with that one. Probably could have had a little bit more, but still, yeah, mega job for him at this stage of the year. They're finishing ahead of Ricciardo, Latifi, Russell, Raikkonen, Hamilton, Schumacher, Giovinazzi and Mazepin there. But yeah, Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris, Perez and Alonso all not making it through to the end of the Grand Prix there. Championship-wise, though, like we said, Bottas now with a 7-point lead with 3 races to go of the campaign there. Plenty of movement, actually, up and down the field at the end of the race there. Verstappen gets the jump on Norris. Sainz gets the jump on Ricciardo, Perez and Charles Leclerc there. He has absolutely leapfrogged his way back into contention in the last couple of races there. 43 points in the last 2 Grand Prix is a fantastic run of form from Carlos Sainz there. And yeah, he might get runner-up at the end of the year if he continues this. Gasly as well gets the jump on Alonso, and then further down you can see Schwartzman gets the jump on Mazepin there, now tied with George Russell as well, and ahead obviously of Christian Lundgaard on countback, leaving Mick Schumacher right at the rear of the championship now. Constructors wise though, Red Bull get the jump on McLaren, 6 points between them, but Ferrari is still closing in rapidly at this stage of the year. The AlphaTauri and Alpine tied as well on 58 apiece. There is plenty to play for with 3 races to go of the season as well. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and yeah, we'll be back tomorrow ready for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Now though, I need to lie down. Of course, none of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to the Travesty, Patrick, Chuan, David and Ben for becoming channel members. Of course, if you want to be featured in these end clips below, make sure you click that join button and you'll get access to some other exclusive perks as well.